It's Jonathan Gerstner with the Pittsburgh Technology Council and TechVibe. And my conversations for Fireside Chats today, you're going to learn so much today because first off, I couldn't be more stoked for when Dan Desko over here, the founder of Echelon Risk and Cyber, because rumor has it, you just cracked the Inc. 5000, man. That's like holy grail of entrepreneurship right there.
Yeah.
First off, congratulations.
Let's go.
Oh my God. No, when I saw that, I'm like, dude, 5 years you've been building this company and we've been watching the Tech Council and you've been growing and just making, it seems like all the right moves. And you handed me this article about the key things around this. I was like, oh my God. I'm calling Dan up right now. I'm bypassing his marketing team. And I'm going right to Dan. Come on into the Huntington Bank studios. I want to learn more about this because I just think our viewers and our listeners can learn so much from what you've done. And there's some really cool actionable stuff. You have these core values about being client-centric, teamwork always being first, people with personality, God forbid, right? Facing issues head on. I mean, obviously being bold and more importantly, more cowbell. And rumor has it there might be a sixth one that we might reveal today.
There is.
So thanks for hanging out with me. Like I said, I'm just really excited for you and the company because that is such an accomplishment. I think it's just proof that you can build something super rad in Pittsburgh.
Humbled to be here and humbled to talk about this. It's definitely the power of the team that we've built at Echelon.
Yeah.
That's behind all of it. So, but yeah, I'm happy to be their voice here today and be here as part of the conversation.
Well, you're the leader. You founded the damn thing.
Yeah,
You're the guilty party. But yeah, obviously all these things happen because you have a fantastic team.
Absolutely.
That you have built over the years. No doubt about that. Before we jump into all these points though, just give our listeners a little bit, our viewers here, a little bit around, what does Echelon do? You do a lot of stuff out there. And I know that cybersecurity is just one of these fields where it just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, we're a full service cybersecurity professional services firm as well as managed services. So we do everything from governance, risk and compliance, pen testing, defensive engineering around tooling, as well as a security team as a service led by virtual CISOs. So we are lucky and fortunate enough to have some of the best partners in the business too. So we're attached and partners with companies like CrowdStrike, for example, right? So it's good to keep good company.
I would say absolutely.
And firms like CrowdStrike and others have been great business partners with us that have helped and enabled our growth. So
yeah, it's been a cool story, and obviously, I mean, this is something to crack the Inc. 5000. What number were you guys at?
433.
Oh my! And that's just not crack. You crack like the Inc. 500.
So,
right?
It's funny you say that because my mind was like tricking myself because you don't really know. No one knows until it's actually released.
Exactly.
So like when it's released for everybody and you have no idea where you're at.
You are, right.
And I saw 433 and I'm like, oh, we like barely made the list. And it, I think it was like late at night when I was like realizing this and they were like, no, it's the Inc. 5,000. I'm like, wait a second. Oh yeah, it's 5,000, not 500, dummy. Yeah. And holy crap,
you guys punched through the wall on that thing.
Yeah,
100%.
We're like top 10% on this thing. So
yeah. So how'd you do it? Real simple. And it's all based on these core values, I think. Because when you founded the company, I mean, it was just you and an intern.
Yeah.
And this idea that you wanted to do this.
Yeah.
But early on, you were known that you had to have this company built on. You had to have a foundation that was really going to drive it and have your North Star with it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like to say, when you start a company, you kind of have some rare luxuries. And one of those rare luxuries was thinking about what the core values would be. And when I say what the core values would be, what are the characteristics that I want our team to have that I think would make us successful?
Okay.
So, I sat back a bit before we had a team of nearly 100 people, right? And said, what are some of the characteristics of some of the best people I've worked with in my career?
Interesting. So you're really putting your thought, looking back as to what you thought worked and where you saw success and saying, I want to do that same thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Right. That luxury is so rare. When you join an established company, right, you're kind of figuring it out. You're figuring out what the values are and who's got what value and who has it in spades and who doesn't. When you're starting it from brand new, that's the one thing you get to do is think deeply about what characteristics you want your teammates to have and try your darndest to hold the line to that.
Very much so. So client-centric makes so much sense for me. I think obviously these are the folks that pay you.
Yeah.
These are the folks that you want to keep paying you. And so the idea is that you got to start with that. And it seems obvious, but sometimes it's not so obvious. It's something, it's so obvious, it's not obvious, right? Tell me about like why that is the top one on the list.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say the obvious piece too, right? Because you see a lot of core values and a lot of them are like integrity.
Yeah.
And honesty. And I'm like,
can you imagine someone says our core values are dishonesty, being evil?
Exactly.
Like,
I'm like,
yeah, of course that is, right?
Those should be like givens.
Yeah, table stakes, right?
Yeah, like those are the price of poker to do business at all.
Exactly.
So, right off the bat, those things are kind of like off the table as core values. Your core values should be, a mixture of ingredients that kind of make you a bit different.
Yeah.
Not just, things that everyone in ethical business should have.
Exactly. Right? Exactly.
So, I was like, we could just agree that those are kind of like givens. And I kind of even wrestled with myself on the client-centric one a bit.
You thinking that was so obvious in a sort of a way? Yeah.
Totally. But also just, at the end of the day, felt like that was something that absolutely has to be called out.
100%.
And made like the North Star.
Exactly.
Of everything.
My whole theory is it's all being in business is all about getting paid at the end of the day and making sure your employees get paid. Without clients, it doesn't happen. So
yeah, and if we're not thrilling our clients, then what are we doing? Like,
exactly.
Why are we even in business?
So how do you keep yourself customer centric then? Is there a key thing that you do?
Yeah. So we don't call them customers.
Love it. Yeah.
Walmart has customers.
Gotcha.
We have clients. I think clients denotes a higher level of relationship.
100%.
And
clients you send Christmas cards to and you call on the weekend and stuff like that. Customers, they come in, it's very transactional. You're building relationships, not transactions, right?
Yeah. I mean, you show up for clients in hard times. You drop what you're doing when a client's in crisis. It could be a personal crisis that they share with you, right?
You step up to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. A customer waits in line at a queue at customer service, right? Clients get special treatment. So yeah, I think we all start by thinking of a client differently, a client versus a customer. Yeah. And I think we're constantly looking for different things that we can do within our proven method and proven process to deliver to make the experience better.
Love it. So that really leads into teamwork, I think, very naturally, because if you have to have your team thinking that way. And once again, I think teamwork's one of those things where, like, of course there has to be teamwork, but that is, I think, obviously one of the hardest things to solve. Getting two people to work together is a pain in the butt. Getting three people is almost impossible. And after that, it's good luck. So how do you do it?
Well, you let new hires know that teamwork is important to us, right?
Exactly.
And you try to suss that out early in the process.
Yeah. Do you do that when they're waiting in line for the Echelon tattoo?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Exactly. It's a brand actually now.
Actually, yeah. You really want to singe it
We
in
need
there.
a little pain, to make sure it's real. But no, so cybersecurity is a team sport. There's no way that we could be successful as cyber professionals fighting against nation state actors and criminal groups.
Yeah.
You can't go that alone. And I love the motto of one of our biggest business partners, CrowdStrike. Their motto is one team, one fight.
Yeah, that's very unifying, right? I mean, especially when you put in the fact that it is a fight. Because the work that you guys do, it's literally a fight. You are striking back against some of the most evil people in the world as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and some days it's not. Some days it's, it feels like the normal sort of course of business, but then you get hit by something and it's like, okay.
Rally, guys, let's go.
And that happens, right?
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, imagine trying to go that alone.
Exactly.
And
so what I find interesting is with this team, it comes to your next point, which teamwork comes to this point is you got to have the right people. And what I love is you talk about people with personality. What does that mean exactly when you say you want people with personality?
We want people like Jonathan Kirsting.
Oh my God, I feel honored. There we go. Keep talking.
Yeah. Do people pass the, can I sit on a plane from Pittsburgh to San Francisco next to this person for 5 hours? Right?
Oh my goodness. That's a cool way to look at it. I'm going to use that.
Right. Somebody that can hold a conversation that is interesting in other ways other than the depth of knowledge in cybersecurity.
Gotcha.
Someone that we would like to work with and, has some charisma and has some something about them that makes them interesting.
I like it.
Right?
It makes so much sense because I feel like when you have a tight team that's got this unified fight, I mean, you got to have people that got each other's backs.
Totally.
They're not in just to punch the clock. It's someone you want to drink a beer with after work, right?
Yeah, and we don't want clones. Like I'm very
Right.
cognizant
Yeah.
of I don't want to just hire people that are like me, and I don't want people to hire people that are like them.
Gotcha.
We do not want clones, and we talk about that a lot. We remain cognizant of that fact.
Okay.
That's a typical bias. People like to hire people that are like them.
Yeah, because I'm great, man. You know?
Yeah, me too. I'm the best.
I want someone just like me doing this job.
Right. We're always
So what
yeah.
I'm curious about is as you look for personality, I guess a lot of times you're not necessarily just hiring just for what's on the resume then, right? You see the potential in somebody.
Yeah.
That they may not have that exact skill set that solves this job, but
Yeah.
they'd be great for the team and you know they could be brought up to speed in certain areas, but then bring something else new as well too, right?
Yeah, and the personality could be a lot of different things, right? One of our former great, colleagues had and still has a hot sauce company,
Okay.
right? And that
Nice.
was so cool. And he, had personality in spades, right? So it could be like a side hustle or gig like that.
Gotcha.
We just hired a new senior engineer recently that has a business called Curry Cups. He makes these curry cups, right? That's cool. Like
I love the fact that people have these outside interests, so their passions are being stoked on all sides.
yeah, no doubt. And these are things that don't conflict with the work and
Right.
gives them an outlet to do something different
100%.
in their personal lives. And I find that interesting, right? We want to work with interesting people. Our clients want to work with interesting people.
Absolutely.
And it makes things just more fun.
Yeah, all the way around. I love the way you're building. And as I go through these points, I kind of see how they all really flow together. You really sitting back and thinking about this when you had that couple days before you got things rolling.
It definitely was.
Yeah,
for sure.
And so, I mean, the idea when you have a team like this that's well integrated, that's obviously thinking of the client first when issues come up, because I would just say that your business has to be the most issue-prone business out. I mean, just before we hit record on this, your phone's ringing and you're getting ready to stamp out a fire.
Yeah.
But the idea is you face issues head on. And that can be tough sometimes. I'm one of those, I like to avoid conflict. So
Yeah.
that cannot be your role. You have to be able to hit it head on and acknowledge and find the solution and move forward, right?
So I'm a big fan of Patrick Lencioni and a lot of his books, and he writes these business fables and just talks about how important trust is in a team.
Yeah.
And there's a great book, 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, that he has, and there's this pyramid of trust, right? And organizations that have a low level of trust, they stay in the surface area. They stay in the I'm afraid to share my opinion because of potential retribution or
Exactly, right.
politics or
100%.
I've been in those situations, right, where so many people are scared to say what they actually think or feel in order to advance the business because they're afraid of politics. And that just shows a lack of trust. And so I think facing issues head on means that we get to a point with our colleagues where we could trust them and trust that they will understand our opinions and understand our points of view.
Love that.
And be able to have dialogue and conflict that is productive.
Yeah.
And not be afraid to do that.
It seems easier said than done because we want to say that, but man,
It is.
executing on that is so tough because people and emotions and personalities, and it's tough. But obviously, you've managed to be able to do that quite well. I mean, you couldn't have achieved the success you've had so far without being able to do that. Is there something in particular that allows you to do that? Like, how do you pull that Band-Aid off?
It's really simple.
Yeah.
The leader has to model the way always.
Okay.
And I look for now all the leaders in our firm to model the way
Gotcha.
always.
Very cool.
So, yeah, and I have to hold myself accountable, and my team has to hold me accountable.
Exactly. That's
right?
so tough. I mean,
Yeah.
I delude myself every day about what I think I'm doing. Right.
We
And
all do.
And
Yeah.
I don't have 100 people looking at me to get them paid either. So,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
And-
Dan, that's tough work.
Yeah, and I'm not perfect, and I have
Right.
days that are not perfect.
Of course.
by all means, and I am not always following these core values to the 100% T, but I have to be the model. Or
yeah, at the end of the day, it's the buck stops with you at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
And so you got to hold that up. Now, here's something that I really love a lot. I think I really want to dive on this a little bit, is the idea of more cowbell. I think that's so important to be celebrating successes and all that. Why is that so important for your culture to have more cowbell? And do you actually have a cowbell somewhere in your office?
We don't, but maybe
Get one now.
Maybe that needs to be like a new employee, like
something like, no, don't bring the cowbell.
Yeah.
Or bring the
I'm
cowbell.
just afraid, sending those to people, what that'll do on client calls.
Yeah.
But at least you can hear people coming.
Exactly.
But the more cowbell, we got to have some fun, right?
100%.
We arguably spend more time with our colleagues than we do with our friends and family at times.
All day long. You're singing to the choir right now.
Yeah, man.
Keep going. I love this.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So, like, why expect anything less than a group of people that we can have some fun with?
And that goes to the personality as well.
And you got to
your core
have
things.
some personality to be able to have a little bit of fun, right? And so, we're signaling it's okay to joke around a bit. It's okay to, be silly and be childish from time to time and, let your hair down a bit. That is welcomed, right? Like we do serious stuff. We need to be anti-serious from time to time to counter
anti-serious
to be like counterbalance that, right?
Absolutely. If I could make a vanity plate for my car, I think it'd be like anti-serious. That to me is pretty cool.
You might be able to fit that in without the vowels.
You might be able to, man.
Yeah.
Crush it up and 7 you get there, or 6 on the plate. I think it's 7 maybe. Yeah. We'll look into that.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely
or something with
look
like
into
cowbell in there, or
right?
something like that. It could be your new thing. Now there's this 6th one that I'm interested in that I was alluding to.
Yeah, so turning pro. Turning pro is one that's important to me, and it's the phrasing of it too.
Yeah, what does that mean to turn pro?
Yeah, so it means you are always seeking to become better at what you do.
Yeah, always up in the game, right?
So it's not turned pro. It's not I done did it, right? It's
continually turning. I like that. So it's this active thing. It's not like this accomplishment, you made it, then you can sit there. Yeah, turn pro. It's like, nope, I'm always learning something new. There's always something to be better at, right?
Yeah, it is recognizing that there is no mountaintop, right? We are always on the path, and we are always striving to become better professionals, better in our field, better at our craft, better for our clients, better for ourselves, right? We are always striving to be a bit better every day.
That's what it's all about. And this all kind of culminates in your, was it called the Echelon?
Yeah.
That you guys have? Tell me about the Echelon. This is first off, great name. But tell me about Echelon and how this is a way that you kind of celebrate your culture and the accomplishments and everything like that of the folks at Echelon, at Echelon. And is there a t-shirt I can get?
Absolutely.
Okay. Perfect.
We create an awesome Echelon t-shirt every year. We will certainly get one in the mail for you.
Thank you. I'll give you my address afterwards because I love my free t-shirt.
But you have to come to Echelon to earn it. Oh, so if you want to come to Dallas,
I'm in. I saw some
September.
Pictures. It looked pretty fun. Okay.
It is.
Tell me, what was the last Echelon all about? Where'd you guys meet up? What'd you do?
Yeah. So our last one was in Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, beautiful.
So we went to Asheville in October of 25. We are a remote first company. So while we maintain some modest office space here in Pittsburgh and some other cities, we are remote first. We look to hire the best talent wherever we could find the talent.
Absolutely.
So we have people all across the United States, but also in Mexico. So North American based. But being that way, we want to invest in having our people all get together at least once a year.
Very cool.
We find that we have to do that to maintain the culture, to celebrate our wins.
100%.
There's lots of little opportunities along the way. I was just in New York these last 2 days with 6 of my colleagues, and we had meetings and attended an event with a business partner of ours, and it was fantastic. So there's these mini opportunities to get together like that. But one big company-wide Echelon, I think, is very important for building and sustaining the culture.
I know many companies that do that, and I just think that's such a smart thing to do, especially with that remote side going on.
Yep.
Everyone realizes they're part of something.
Exactly.
You know, it gives you that ownership, that feeling, and have some fun with it, but learn from each other. Like I said, that's just putting some armor plating on your culture there, I think.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And, plug for my friend Bart Foster, who runs a company, Business Outside. We've been partnering with his organization to help us with Echelon the past few years, where we do something called Business Outside. So most conferences, everybody kind of huddles in the conference room, and you sort of shutter yourself in, and you're like, is it sunny outside?
Exactly.
Like, we're at these embassy suites or wherever the heck we're at.
Hey, at least you get the free waffles there.
But we started off completely different, right? We do show up in the conference room in the morning, the ballroom or wherever we're at. But it's kind of just to do morning announcements and leave our stuff. And what we've been doing as a custom for the last few years is going on a hike somewhere. So a lot of the recent Echelons have been in places where we could get out and do some cool hikes.
Love that.
So we've done Asheville, we've done Red Rocks, we've done Scottsdale, Arizona. So we get out and we do 4 or 5 hours on sort of a planned hike together.
Love
and
it.
Bart's company helps us with like all types of things, and setting up different ways for people to interact with each other.
Making it fun, right?
Making it fun, absolutely.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Yep.
You guys are making so many cool moves. I feel like we learned quite a few of those moves today. I mean, everything from, of course, being client-centric, putting your teamwork first, people with personality, facing those issues head on, more cowbell, and holy crap, man, turning pro. Not turn pro, turning pro. That is key. And I can easily see why this has led up to you guys cracking that magic code of the Inc. 5000. Not just 5,000. You cracked the 500, man.
Yeah,
like, that's so cool.
There should be like a special party for the Inc. 500.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like extra drinks or something.
Yeah.
Like that. But anyhow, at the end of the day, man, the Tech Council is super proud of what you guys done. You're making Pittsburgh proud. Type of stuff that's making Pittsburgh super awesome.
That's super cool to hear. Thank you.
No, I appreciate you hanging out with me today because I'm learning so much. That means our listeners and our viewers are going to learn a ton too. And that's our motto here. We want everyone to succeed in business here in Pittsburgh. So Dan, thank you much, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's always a pleasure to be here and humbled and honored to be featured. So thank you, Jonathan.
Anytime. And in case you forgot, this is Jonathan Kirsting with the Pittsburgh Technology Council and TechVibe, having way too much fun telling stories like Dan's as much as we possibly can. And I cannot wait to see you on the next one.